You're sitting in a crowded living room. The room is dead silent. Your eyes are locked onto a glowing green rectangle on a screen across the room. Your palms are dripping with cold sweat. Why is your heart pounding so furiously when you are completely motionless? A plastic ball touches a white nylon net. The silence instantly shatters. You find yourself leaping into the air, screaming at the top of your lungs, and hugging a complete stranger beside you. Your individual worries have completely vanished. Your personal identity has been temporarily erased. Have you lost your mind? To your conscious brain, you're simply watching a sporting event. You think you're just a passionate fan supporting a team. But the real answer is far stranger and deeply unsettling. Your brain has been completely hijacked by a piece of prehistoric evolutionary software. You are no longer acting as an isolated human being. You have become a single working neuron inside a massive, temporary global hive mind. Look around the globe during the World Cup match. Billions of human beings are staring at the exact same point in digital space. They are breathing in unison. They are crying together. They are experiencing identical surges of joy and devastation at the exact same fraction of a second. This is not mere entertainment. What is actually happening inside your skull right now? To understand this mental takeover, you have to look backward into deep time. Your brain was carefully built for a world that no longer exists. For 99% of human history, your ancestors lived in small roaming bands of nomadic primates. Isolation meant instant death. Survival depended entirely on your ability to coordinate perfectly with your tribe during a dangerous hunt or a bloody territory war. How did evolution force selfish individuals to cooperate? The answer is physical synchronization. Your ancestors learned to dance together, chant together, and move their bodies in perfect rhythm around ancient fires. This rhythmic movement tricked their individual brains into a state of intense psychological fusion. It blurred the boundary between the single self and the larger group. When your ancestors synchronized their movements, their individual brains blended into a single superorganism. This collective entity could fight harder, hunt better, and protect scarce resources with absolute ferocity. Today, the modern world has completely dismantled those ancient tribes. You live in a solitary apartment block. You buy food from automated supermarkets without speaking to a soul. You stare at personal devices in relative isolation every single day. Yet your ancient brain still starves for that primitive collective oneness. The World Cup is the ultimate modern proxy for the tribal battlefield. It is an artificial machine explicitly designed to awaken the sleeping giant inside your nervous system. When you walk into a stadium or a packed pub, your body begins to change immediately. You are surrounded by thousands of people wearing identical colors. This visual uniformity signals your primitive survival brain that you are safe among your own pack. Your brain releases a massive flood of a powerful neurochemical called oxytocin. This hormone is often called the molecule of trust and bonding. It lowers your social defenses. It forces you to look at a room full of strangers and view them as your literal family. Is this chemical wave happening entirely in isolation? The science says absolutely not. Princeton neuroscientist Dr. Uri Hassan has pioneered the study of a phenomenon called neural coupling. In his groundbreaking laboratory experiments, he placed human subjects inside functional brain scanners while they listened to intense stories. He discovered that when people are exposed to a powerful shared story or a gripping external event, their brains do something extraordinary. They begin to mirror each other. The electrical patterns moving through your frontal cortex begin to track the exact same patterns moving through the brains of everyone around you. Dr. Hassan describes this as your brains literally ticking together like synchronized metronomes on a wooden platform. Think about what this means for a World Cup final match. When a striker runs toward the goal, your visual cortex processes the high-speed movement. But it is not just your visual cortex. Millions of separate brains are processing the exact same trajectory at the exact same millisecond. The neural coupling spreads deep into your ancient emotional centers. Your amygdala fires in perfect synchrony with the amygdala of a stranger sitting thousands of miles away in a different hemisphere. Your separate minds have plugged into a single, global circuit. You are sharing a collective consciousness. How does this alignment impact your physical body? This psychological fusion carries a brutal, hidden physical cost. Your brain does not know that the game on the screen is merely simulated warfare. It treats the match as a literal matter of life and death for your tribe. Oxford anthropologist Dr. Martha Newson traveled directly to Brazil to study fans during the high-stakes World Cup tournament. She collected saliva samples from hardcore spectators before, during, and after intense matches. She was measuring a specific hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary chemical weapon for handling extreme physical danger. What did the laboratory data reveal? Dr. Newson discovered that for fans who are deeply bonded to their team, cortisol levels do not just rise, they explode into the bloodstream. When your team is locked in a tight match, your body enters a state of absolute fight-or-flight emergency. Your blood pressure spikes dangerously. Your immune system temporarily shuts down to divert vital energy to your muscles. Your heart beats with the chaotic fury of a soldier trapped on a battlefield, and if your team loses, the toxic cortisol levels remain high for hours, trapping your body in a prolonged wave of physical grief. Why would your body punish you so severely for a game you did not even play? The reason lies in a concept Dr. Newson calls identity fusion. This is an extreme form of social bonding where the thin wall between your personal ego and the group identity is completely demolished. Your brain genuinely believes that a defeat for your team is a visceral threat to your personal survival. You do not just feel sad about the score, you feel physically mutilated. This explains why heart attacks spike nationally in countries that lose major football matches. Your body is suffering the physical consequences of a war that is taking place entirely on a grass field. This brings us to a strange paradox of human nature. Why does your brain actively seek out an experience that causes such terrifying levels of stress? The answer is found in the unique pleasure of losing yourself entirely. Modern life forces you to carry the heavy burden of being an isolated individual. You must worry about your career, your finances, your reputation, and your personal future. It is exhausting. The hive mind offers you a beautiful, temporary escape from the prison of your own ego. University College London psychologist Dr. Daniel Richardson has studied how large crowds scale up this mental alignment. He monitored audience members during live performances and synchronized group activities. He found that when a crowd chants and claps together, their physical coordination creates a state of cognitive facilitation. Your brain actually offloads some of its heavy processing power to the group. You do not have to think about what to do next. You simply follow the wave of the collective body. The crowd sings, so you sing. The crowd gasps, so you gasp. It is a deeply intoxicating sensation of pure, thoughtless belonging. What happens when this alignment goes too far? You must look closely at the dark side of this evolutionary miracle. The exact same neurological machinery that allows a crowd to experience beautiful, shared joy can easily be inverted. When your individual identity is suppressed, your personal moral compass is suppressed along with it. The hive mind does not possess a conscience. It only possesses an impulse. If the collective energy shifts from celebration to anger, you can transform instantly into something unrecognizable. Imagine a referee making a controversial decision against your team. The neural coupling across the stadium instantly transmits a wave of hot, collective rage. Your frontal lobe, the seat of your logic and self-control, is effectively deactivated by the sheer volume of the group's emotional current. You find yourself screaming obscenities, throwing heavy objects, or participating in street violence. The next morning, you wake up in your quiet apartment and look in the mirror. You feel a deep wave of shame. You ask yourself how you could have acted so monstrously. The answer is simple. You did not do those things. The hive mind did them through your body. Your individual agency was temporarily suspended by the group organism. You were merely an arm executing the will of the crowd. This is the ultimate hidden danger of the global stadium. It is a powerful amplifier of raw human emotion, and it can be steered by anyone who controls the narrative. A flag, an anthem, or a colored jersey can turn millions of peaceful individuals into a single coordinated weapon. Your ancestors used this weapon to survive the ancient wilderness. But in a modern world armed with mass media and global connectivity, this primitive software can be incredibly volatile. Can you ever truly control it? Your brain is not designed to control it. You are designed to be consumed by it. When the match begins, your modern logic is nothing more than a twig caught in a roaring psychological tsunami. The commercial entities that manage these global tournaments understand this perfectly. They build massive stadiums that mimic ancient coliseums. They use thunderous sound systems to sync your heartbeat to the stadium music. They flash bright lights to capture 100% of your visual attention. They are engineering the hive mind for profit. You are paying for the privilege of losing your humanity. Think about the sheer scale of this phenomenon. No other event on Earth binds the human species together in this exact way. Politics divides us into bitter factions. Religion creates distinct boundaries between believers and non-believers. Global economics forces us into constant competition. But a leather ball moving across grass bridges every single cultural divide. It taps into something deeper than language. It connects you directly to the ancient, wordless core of our species. Tonight, the great stadium will empty out. The giant TV screens will go dark. The global hive mind will dissolve back into billions of isolated individuals. You will walk back to your car, adjust your jacket, and return to your quiet, personal routine. You will feel a strange, hollow sense of mental exhaustion. Your brain will slowly reboot its individual ego, bringing back your personal anxieties and daily chores. You will look at the news tomorrow and see highlights of the match you just watched. You will see images of fans crying in the stands, their faces painted in bold colors. You will think you are looking at a simple game of football, but you will know the truth. You will understand that you just witnessed a brief, terrifying glimpse of our deep evolutionary past. You are sitting in a crowded living room. Your eyes are locked onto a glowing green rectangle on a screen across the room. Your palms are dripping with cold sweat. Why is your heart pounding so furiously when you are completely motionless?